Aloha, Pepsi Cola. I'm in Indianapolis again. I'm gonna check out a memorial. It's right near the canal. Yeah, so anyway. What we'll be looking at is a USS Indianapolis memorial. The USS Indianapolis being the ship that was in World War II. That's an interesting bridge right there. So yeah, looks like it's a part of the USS Indianapolis. Take a little closer look, of course. It's like you have to walk down this way. It's an interesting playground right there. Oh, cool. This looks like they even had the ship on the backside. Yeah, so there she is, the USS Indianapolis. So yeah, named in honor of our capital city, the heavy cruiser. So it was a cruiser, USS Indianapolis. Oh wait, so the cruiser USS Indianapolis's keel was laid on 31 March 1930 and launched on 7th November 1931. So this is like before World War II, pretty much. She was accepted by the Navy and commissioned on the 15th November 1932. She was 610 feet long and 4 inches in length. 66 feet and 1 inch at the beam, drawing 24 feet 10 inches of draft when fully manned and ready for sea. She boosted 8 White Forster boilers, driving 4 Parsons geared turbines. Total rated horsepower was 107,000. She delivered through 4 propellers. Her design flank speed excelled 32 knots. Main armaments consist of 9 8-inch guns housed in 3 turrets and a secondary armament of 8 5-inch guns. She began her 13-year career as the flagship of the scouting force and later the scouting fleet. Prior to World War II, she served several times as President Franklin D. Roosevelt's personal ship of the state. Oh, interesting. Throughout most of World War II, she served as the flagship of the Fifth Fleet under the command of Admiral Raymond A. Spruance, who was himself raised in Indianapolis. She distinguished herself and all who served aboard her during her career in the Pacific, earning a total of 10 battle stars. At Okinawa, she was hit by a kamikaze suicide plane, causing 38 casualties. Following repairs, she was chosen to deliver the world's first operational atomic bomb. Wow. Delivering it to the island on the 26th of July, 1945, at approximately 14 minutes past midnight on 30th of July, 1945, while transiting unescorted from Guam to the Indianapolis was struck by 2 torpedoes fired by submarine I-58 of the Imperial Japanese Navy. It sunk. Yeah, so that's when she sunk. The Indianapolis was the last surface ship to be lost by the United States in World War II. First atomic bomb was flown by the B-29 bomber Enola Gay and dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, on 6th of August 1945. The atom bombs brought about the early end of the war, saving an estimated 2 million lives that would have been lost on both sides in an invasion of the Japanese home islands. The Empire of Japan surrendered unconditionally on the 14th of August 1945. So there you go. So a little bit of history behind the USS Indianapolis, which was a heavy cruiser. A bit of importance, though, too, as it was the serving ship of the state for the president, also carrying an atomic bomb that would have been dropped on Hiroshima. So I don't know if this is the continuing part here or if it was the one before that. Yeah. Shark attacks began with the sunrise of the first day and continued until the men were physically removed from the water almost 5 days later. Shortly after 11 a.m. of the fourth day, the survivors were accidentally discovered by Lieutenant Wilbur C. Gwynn, piloting his PV-1 Ventura bomber. On a routine anti-submarine patrol, radioing his base, he alerted many men in the water. A PBY seaplane under the command of Lieutenant R. Adrian Marks was dispatched to lend assistance and report en route to the scene. Marks overflew the destroyer USS Cecil Doyle and alerted his captain of the emergency. The captain of the Doyle, on his own authority, decided to divert to the scene, arriving hours ahead of the Doyle. Mark's crew began dropping rubber rafts and supplies. While so engaged, they observed men being attacked by sharks. Disregarding standing orders not to land at sea, Marks landed and began taxiing to pick up the stragglers and lone swimmers who were at the greatest risk of shark attacks. Learning the men were the crew of the Indianapolis. He radioed the news requesting immediate assistance. Doyle responded. She was en route as complete darkness fell. Marks waited for help to arrive, all the while continuing to seek out and pull nearly dead men from the water. When the plane's fuselage was full, survivors were tied to the wing with parachute cord. Marks and his crew rescued 56 men that day. The Cecil Doyle was the first vessel on the scene, homing on Marks' PBY in total darkness. The Doyle halted to avoid killing or further injuring survivors and began taking Mark's survivors aboard. Disregarding the safety of his own vessel, the Doyle's captain pointed his largest searchlight into the night sky to serve as a beacon for other rescue vessels. This beacon was the first indication to most survivors that their prayers had been answered. Help had at last arrived. Of the 900 who made it into the water, only 317 remain alive. After almost 5 days of constant shark attacks, starvation, terrible thirst, suffering from exposure and their wounds, the men of Indianapolis were at last rescued from the sea. Damn. Yeah. And so here we have the list of the crew here. The final sailing list below are 1,196 names of the officers enlisted men and one passenger who made the final sailing aboard the USS Indianapolis on the 30th of July, 1945. The Marine detachment is listed separately. A star indicates a survivor. So by the stars are the people who survived. There's the whole crew here. Looks like there might have been water here at some point. Maybe it's turned on during springtime, maybe. Well, yeah. Just a nice memorial to the USS Indianapolis. I also got some more signs here, too. Yeah, anyway, might show a little bit of this. The plan is to show a bit more of this during St. Patrick's Day. There's something interesting we do with the water here, which I guess, Chicago does the same thing. But during St. Patrick's Day, the whole canal water right here will be turned into green, just like up in Chicago. Yeah, it's a pretty long canal, though. I don't think I've ever walked this thing before. Anyway, it's been Corey. I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out. Yeah, imagine getting an apartment around this thing. That'd be kind of cool.